No, but that wouldn't be enough to get a long rest.
Well, it takes half a day, so you could rest the whole journey up there.
I mean, that would obviously make some things a lot easier.
Just sleep.
Hmm?
You just sleep.
I'm sleeping.
Sleep.
Alright, okay, fine. I will straight up just kind of be like, well, okay, I know we're, flying out of this city that's under attack or whatever, but I'm actually just gonna take a quick 8-hour nap, have a sandwich, and I will see y'all in 8 hours, okay? So, I sort of come out. Oh, I ain't gonna be there yet. How's it? How we doing? Hey, Cap.
And you see Captain Riley, like, there's a couple of soot over her brow. You can see some of them, like, stitching their uniform together again after.
Good grit on all you all. Yeah. Good job.
So, they sleep well?
Yeah, it's good. It's a bit, there was a bit of turbulence. I think you could have maybe kind of steered the ship a bit more, kind of steady.
And
but,
behind you see Calibrite, the one-armed Necrest, like, yeah, I have to agree with him.
Yeah.
Like, it was really hard to get.
The tree's just on fire. Yeah, okay.
I'm actually see that what's his name, Rodri. He will also part a road, so he's actually starting to mend essentially the tree, like
in complete silence.
Speaking
well,
of that.
Yeah. Okay. Well. So, have we had any word from Neris and Jace? Any word from them?
And then you see Captain Riley looks towards the crew, and the crew looks towards her like.
I don't know. I mean, they're both powerful magic. They could have maybe kind of tried to. If they saw the ship, they might have decided to. But no. Maybe they're dead. I'll cast sending.
Yeah.
To let's go with Neris.
Yes.
Hey, Eos here. Where are you? We're on the Air Nomad and we're nearing Rambarn now. Status question?
Hey, yes, now it's here. We're heading towards Everjourn. People are okay, I think. And silence that.
Shit. I don't know. She said people. She didn't mention Jace by name. I'll cast sending again. Hey, me again. Is Jace okay?
And so you're sending specifically to Neris to ask about Jace.
Oh yeah, that's dumb. I sent to Jace.
I just need to be sure.
Hey Jace, it's me, Eos. Neris didn't mention you in her message, so I'm just kind of checking out, making sure that you're alive.
Ah yes, Jace here. Currently in the Feywild, negotiating a treaty with some army that can assist us. Hopefully everything will be well. I'll return shortly. And by the way, what are we supposed to?
I actually think maybe that sending doesn't work across dimensions.
No, there's a 5% chance, and I had rolled.
Oh really? Oh, okay. All right, cool. I think that's okay. Then he's negotiating. Yeah, I tell everyone else this, whoever.
Yeah.
I just sort of stand there, just sort of say it to whoever. So, hey, okay, they're fine. Yeah.
Oh, they're both fine. Aurora asks.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Jace is in the Feywild doing. I think he's sort of a politician now, apparently. And
doesn't sound like him at all.
No, well, and Neris is on her way to Everjourn. So I think if we head in that direction, we could maybe pick her up. We could sort of.
Okay, so you want us to circle around? Everjourn is there in the opposite direction.
Which did she say Everjourn?
She says Everjourn. You're heading towards Evergale.
Damn it! Why are all these names so goddamn similar?
Because I have a limited capacity of 4 names.
I forgot. Oh shit. Well, I guess Neris is doing solo stuff now. She's always been a free bird. I think we should head up and meet up with someone. Davree. There we go.
Yeah. Yes. Sounds like a good idea.
Oh, thanks.
What are we supposed to do now? Because I've actually slept now, and now I'm awake, but it's turning night. This is gonna be...
Yeah, I hear you.
This is gonna fuck up my rhythm, man.
Yeah, I get it. Not really sure how I'm sort of supposed to sort of help you with that.
Well, it's fine.
But,
I'm gonna try to hit on one of the crew members. I don't know which one yet. Fine.
Here you go.
Hopefully not.
Huh. Yeah, I guess I have free time now.
Yeah, so in the time that where you encounter each other.
Sure. No. But so if there's maybe like if he's heading in our direction, we're heading his direction. Like we have maybe a day to kill.
Yeah, probably 2 days.
Okay. Then actually there is some stuff I'd like to spend that time doing.
Yeah.
There is definitely stuff that can be done. I have my cacti, and I think I would like to enlist the help of. Don't tell me. Give me 17 minutes. And I'll find his name. Bonrus?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, the alchemist.
Yeah, the alchemist, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And just say, hey Bonrus, how are you?
Decent, I guess.
Do you have any family or friends in Sorvakai that you've left behind?
None alive, no.
Okay, good. So just their graves.
Well, I did work for the vestige for some time, but they'll be fine.
Okay, cool. So I was thinking, and I mage hand the cacti out of my bag. So I've been sort of growing these for about, I guess it's a week since we came back from. No, I'm just kidding. But I have been nursing. These sort of been growing in the sewers of Sorvakai for a while. It's just they are the ghoul cactus.
Yeah, ghoul spikes.
Ghoul spike something. Ghoul cacti.
Yeah.
Is what I have here, and I think they sort of have paralytic effects.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if maybe could you help me distill them into some sort of poison?
Yeah. Do you want it to be like something people drink, something you put on a weapon?
I think on a weapon would be the obvious. It would be a good choice instead of trying to trick people into drinking things.
Okay, very well. And do you want it to be like dark fired or actually?
Well, does it matter?
Well,
if you have the, can you just?
Well, if you put it on the weapon, it will only work for a couple of minutes. Then it will dry out and stop to have the effect. The dart itself will have the canister essentially. So when you throw it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not really. I don't know how to throw darts. I mean, I probably do, but. No, let's just do like a coating.
Yes, certainly.
Of stuff, you know.
I can do that in a jiffy. Natural 20.
Hey, good on you.
So like, certainly. Okay. It's quite a simple process. Actually.
Yeah. Well, cool. Will you teach me how to do it?
Yeah, and again, you both stand at the table, and essentially, it's like you put like a tube into it. Oh. So.
Okay.
And then come to a glass beacon where it starts to boil up and. Then the fog goes in and put something other to actually create an adhesive effect to the weapon.
So cool.
Yeah, there you go. Roll 2d6. That's how many vials you get from the batch.
Come on. Okay, 6.
6. Cool. I can recall the DC of.
I said 13.
13.
That's quite low.
Yeah,
I was wondering,
and that's why I'm checking.
I would be okay. I mean, maybe could he have made? There was more concentrate, but there was less of it.
Yeah, but that's why I'm thinking. Maybe say 16, and then how many?
You got 6.
6. Let's say 4. Then is that, and then 16 DC, and the effect on the weapon will work for a minute.
Okay, very cool, thank you.
And to administer it on a weapon, I would say it's a bonus action.
Okay. Yeah.
Either that or it's free action, depending, because it's how interacting with object, I believe, is a free action actually. So.
Well, yeah, but I have to have to open.
Yeah, again.
Thing and
It will be pulling out. Will be bonus action. That's saying that.
Super fair. And 1 minute.
1 minute.
And do you get saving throws sort of
at the end of the turn? Yeah.
Fair enough. Alright, very cool. Yeah, I'll definitely spend some time doing that. I'll spend some time role playing with sort of interacting with Aurora in a way that has no effect on the story, but it's fine, and we bond as siblings or whatever.
Yeah, and you talk about what you did while you were away from each other. And
blah blah blah, whatever. Probably some pranks are happening, I guess. We're getting stories from hell.
Right.
Yeah. Wait, do I still have my wish?
Yeah.
How long has it been?
Since
hopefully less than a year.
Yeah, because it was a year and a day you got.
Yeah.
I can actually find out.
It just runs out. Shit.
Because I have the calendar. 6 months.
Okay.
But so yeah, you're not close to.
And just as long as I don't say the word wish at any point during.
No, you had to call out his name,
which I definitely remember. I've forgotten.
In case you've forgotten, I can easily.
Thank you. I know. I've probably been written down on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's necessarily anything else I need to.
Nope. Cool. Anything you want to do, Davree, as you fly, rest, put some meat on your lap, like Jesus, saddle sore is the worst. Fly again. I really should install like a couch or something on this bird.
Well, at some point during that time, I'll send to Davree just to make sure we have a.
Yeah, so you start to like.
I'll let know on the way, and
I sent him GPS coordinates.
Yeah, essentially, due to the fact that Egg is a cartographer, he's essentially like, if you just follow this particular star, then we will make sure to.
Yep.
Right, you hear that session? We're going for the stars.
But essentially, each day he might say another star.
Yeah.
So like, so
But of course, he's able to get us to meet up.
Yeah.
Cool.
So after 2 days travel, you start to see the Sky Nomad in the horizon. And you see both Davree and Dragon Form and the skeletal weapons start to like. They essentially like border patrolling around.
Good on them. Oh, take it easy, guys. I think it's Davree.
You can see the Arak, the archer, like that's them.
Binoculars. Just two.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, just 2 toilet rolls.
Got them scoops.
But yeah, essentially you land down on the deck.
Oh, good. Hi.
So
Hi.
You made it. That's cool.
Yeah, you did as well. That's
Apparently.
also cool. So that was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Def.
For sure.
Yeah. So what do we do now, boss?
Well,
Boss man?
a boss man. I'm not a boss man.
Who's the boss?
Do we have a boss?
George Captain Riley's like, I thought you were my boss.
Yeah, no. We know what Captain Riley.
No, we're the board. I mean, but like, who's the
Also-
CEO?
Well, you don't have a boss per se. You are your own bosses.
What?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But you're also you're the sort of the tactics guy.
Well, I've been thinking that maybe we should go for these gold dragons.
Yeah.
Get them on our side. And then I think we could once again set a revolutionary force in Sorvakai, like we did at Delta Bay. But honestly, I've already had like done the whole rebel aesthetic thing.
Yeah, we sort of did that.
So I was thinking maybe we should try to do more like just full on, like
amass an army and just fucking go to town.
Gather our allies. Yeah. Now, the last village we flew over, about a mile back that way, they were having some problems with, like, I think it was a goblin tribe that had, I think, that raided them and then retreated back to their cave. Would that be something we could do? I know that's sort of left field for what we've been doing up to this point, but I'm just thinking, do you remember the good old times?
Use one of the dungeon crawls we turned to?
Yeah, just like kill some spooks that don't really have like the kind of, where the fate of the sort of the free world doesn't really rest
There are no
in our
ramifications
hands.
other than your own life.
Look, I can promise you that once we've freed Sorvakai, that'll be the end of this whole state of the world type of thing.
Yeah, because I mean, how could there possibly be anything worse than this?
Yeah. What like
Yeah.
aside from
I hear you.
aside from like the Witch Queen coming back,
Which says it.
ridiculous, right?
In fact, according to Aurora, she got melted.
Yeah. So we'll be fine. We just that was what I was thinking though, but I don't know what are you thinking?
I think you're probably right.
What about you, Aurora? Okay, cool.
And she's like,
No. Shut up.
maybe we should. And you say you have some allies in Evergale or whatever. Captain Riley says, hear them, like, hear what kind of allies they have. Maybe start to keep the ball rolling, essentially.
And we just go to Evergale if it was. Is there any way to do like communication beyond sending? Like
There are probably some methods, like what's it called in Lord of the Rings, like Palpatine.
Palantir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are probably different methods of communicating, and the spells within the book are not the only spells
Okay,
that
that's
exist.
true. But also, if they do have a whole Palatine setup, I mean, that's meaningless if the spell sending exists.
Yeah, I was thinking like could we communicate with them without having to go all the way back?
Oh, yeah.
In a way, more than sending, more than we're counting words.
Like what do you think, like scrying?
I don't know. Can we astrally project, create a hologram type thing?
I mean, maybe.
Some kind of.
I mean, oh shit, she's not here, is she? Neris would have potentially been able to teleport into the city through the tree.
Oh right,
But she's in Evergale.
We should really get Neris.
Yeah, but they must have. What if they have a tree in Evergale? Couldn't you just go here?
Oh yeah.
But maybe she doesn't want to, and I can't be bothered to find out.
Just double checking here.
Did I get the impression from Neris that she was sort of doing her own thing right now?
Essentially, she's right now making sure that
Like
the people
Jace.
get safely to Evergale, and probably from that when that is done, she will probably join up with you guys.
Yeah, I think she's kind of solo adventuring now, just like Aurora and Blake seem to be. Oh, okay, but okay, fine, they're gone.
Oh, and you see they go into a room, they find some miniatures, some dice, put up a board.
Fucking nerds.
Oh jeez.
Unbelievable.
And you can see Aurora looks more and more skeptical, like, what the fuck are you doing? When they start to tell his whole sales pitch, like, no, what is cool with this game is that you play accountants. And then...
So I guess it's just you and I, weirdly, for this one. But maybe we could,
What do you want to do?
Okay, so there's a bunch of allies, different places. Neris seems to be kind of heading towards Dragon King's Rest, so I'm assuming she'll talk to the dragons there. Jace is negotiating with the Fae. You have your contacts. I don't have anything else.
I'm assuming you sold some devil that can help you.
I mean,
That's presumptuous.
am I a close personal friend of Absalom, the Fire Lord? Yeah, sure. Does he have an army of 10,000 men strong? Yeah, sure. Has he said that if I ever want to sort of borrow them for anything, he'd say, of course? Yeah, but like, is it now?
Fair point. Alright.
No, I was in hell, okay? I was in hell and I was enslaved there. I don't have friends. It's hell!
I'm gonna
The horned devil, what's in Valuax or something, starts to cry a single tear and doesn't know why.
We're not friends.
I'm gonna say something. It's gonna sound like a joke, but I actually mean it.
Okay.
They're in our capital.
I love it. Just like switch places?
Yeah.
The old switcheroo?
I mean,
They'd never see it coming.
And he comes around, it's like, that might work.
No, it wouldn't. That's dumb. It's a stupid idea. What are you talking about?
that's why it might work.
And you looks into a bubble, it's almost empty, like, I'm too drunk to think.
Yes, you are. Okay. Now, there was a period of time when before, the invasion happened, sort of when it was just like a, the war was kind of going on.
I remember it like it was last week.
It really was. But when we were started discussing kind of why was Caracas even kind of doing this? What do I know about the history of Caracas?
Well, roll a history check.
I'll roll. I will help
That's
you.
a natural 18. You maybe don't need to.
Okay.
Well.
So just I have +5. So it's 23.
Okay, with all the information you gathered, when the Witch Queen rose to power, she started to hire various other races than the classic civilized, which included gnolls, orcs, and so forth, and including hobgoblins. Prior to that, they were part of something called the Savage Legion. That's 3,000 years ago. Doesn't really matter now. After the Witch Queen was defeated, her army spread to the four corners of the world, with the majority of the hobgoblin race taking over this wasteland to the... That must be the east, yeah. And claimed it as their own, calling it Caracas. People have always wondered how they managed to survive, because it is a wasteland, nothing really can grow there, anything like that. You now come to realization, probably due to the fact that they had worked with the Underdark for a longer period of time.
But they haven't but had they sort of up to... But that was 3,000 years ago. And in that period, was it sort of...
No, actually, the whole thing all in cracks, that's 5,000 years ago.
500 years ago.
1,000 years ago.
Was when the Witch Queen was doing her thing.
Yeah, and then they disbanded, and over the course of the 1,000 years, they took over Caracas, claimed it as their own. The Empire then, the Draconian Empire, then put an armistice between Gunwell, the neighbor country, and Caracas, claiming that if one side would attack the other or invade the other, then the Empire would assist the victim.
And then they did.
Yeah.
But so, because do we ever really get? Do we ever sort of find out where the fuck is Caracas?
That's over there by Eric.
It's down there?
Yeah, Grotarak is the capital.
It is. Okay. It's just more if. Like, did we ever kind of really sort of figure out?
You don't know
what
the specific reason why they have invaded. You know that the Witch Queen somehow is involved, but you don't.
See, why did we know that? Was that because
that's due to that? Seeker told you that.
Do we maybe need to make contact with Seeker? Is that maybe what needs to happen now?
Well, what are you getting at?
I'm thinking more of. I mean, we could. I mean, no matter what we do. There is going to be some effort probably to retake Sorvakai. The allies that we're talking about aren't just our allies, they are the allies of the Empire. So I mean, there is, there's a very real reality that the Karakan army may not be able to hold Sorvakai at all. I'm just wondering why did this happen? Because that was what we were sort of circling about that whole thing for a while. We never really got anywhere with it.
One thing that I thought would be interesting to look at is we have an idea. Something suggests to us that Caracas is propped up by the underfolk.
Underdark, yeah.
Okay. By the residents of the Underdark. And I was honestly considering if we can try to go there and separate the two. Separate that connection.
Right. I remember not being very happy with that idea, but now I feel differently.
And you weren't happy last time?
Huh?
Because you don't remember why you weren't happy last time?
No, I think it was just, I think it felt like it was a stretch. It was a long shot, I think, at the time, but now, obviously, there isn't really, the war isn't being fought anymore. Now it's more of a resistance sort of thing.
Because I think you're right that that we should leave the retaking of Sorvakai planning to the military experts. They can call us in when they need us, but if we could try to
smaller, where we most useful, and I think as I think we maybe did find out at the recent battle, we can do some. We're pretty cool, but there's there's just 6 of us.
The other option is that we go straight up dragon hunting. There's 6 of us, and we're some of the most powerful warriors in the land. And that's a fair assumption, right?
Yeah, you are. Again, your group is amongst the top 10 at this point.
Okay, we're some of the most powerful warriors in the land. What if we go hunt the ancient dragons one-on-one? What if we? I mean, that's another idea.
And which dragons? I mean, there were 2 black ones and there was a blue one. That's what we saw in this battle.
During the whole invasion of Sorvakai, there have been 5 black dragons, adult black dragons, 4 of which have been slain. There was then Grodumanax, and then there was Dokoros, the ancient black and ancient blue dragon.
And say the name of the blue one again.
Dokorus or Gale Wrath.
Gale Wrath. And he was the one who was also allied with the whole giant Grell.
Yeah, he's essentially the leader of the women-riding lizards.
Yeah. He's somewhere south.
He comes down from Jawfield originally.
Way down there. Okay.
But has caused some problems for the people within the Cloudsword area. Where like these tribes live in this constant mist, essentially.
Right.
And you were essentially given an assignment, or rather your Straits company were given one of the assignments they could take was essentially dealing with the Dokorus and so forth. You never got... you're from...
We were originally from Valtural.
That's correct.
So we would maybe also know of him.
Yeah, you've probably heard about him. Yeah. He hasn't really caused any problem within Valtural because it is a very powerful nation.
Sure. Definitely. We're very cool. And what is sort of the political situation? Is that's all tieflings and there's a king?
Mainly tieflings because their whole ancestors were caused. There was a king at one point, but he was what's it called? Deposed, yeah, exactly. And the Lord Chamberlain took over. Yeah.
Now it's a democracy.
I have one more suggestion, but I want to just say it out of the game first. We had talked about going up to see about the Witch Queen. I know that was the whole situation.
Yeah.
We talked about it in game before we had the thing that we as players know, but the characters don't know. So I don't want to try to justify with my knowledge us going up there.
No, but didn't we constantly have the problem that there's still that ring of goddamn mist? We can't get up there.
Yeah, I think we just talked about going up there and seeing, like, I think it was Brianfall, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, that will be Toothspire and Brianfall. That's
which we talked about, like, going up and seeing if there's anything there, if we're following that lead.
You also know that the Seeker, i.e. the Lich, is in Toothspire right now.
Oh.
Because he wanted to investigate the Tooth Tower. That ancient earth pillar.
Maybe that's what we would... Because we had talked about finding Seeker and maybe going...
Aesthetically, I would like to go into the Underdark, so I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah. In case you want to do that, you would either need to go to Frostdeep or to the small island called Dawn Island.
Those were the two known entrances?
Yeah.
One out there, and one was...
in Frostdeep, that is the underground nation with underneath Balmark.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you will need to go to what is it, Kafurum, or mouth of the mountain, or Falstead, which is also.
That's where Davree's from. No.
What?
Yeah,
Davree's from Frosty. Brownday.
Yeah, Brownday.
Oh, Brownday.
Davree. Sorry.
I was going to say, how do you know where I'm from? I don't know where I'm from.
Again, you're an orphan from Gravenhill, I believe.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Nobody knows. Okay. But then, how did they get help from?
Just the only known entries are in the underground town called Okravol or in the Dawn Island.
Is there anything like? Is there any kind of like the Draconian Empire? That's this area, right?
That's correct.
Are these all allies with the Draconian Empire?
Neutral parties. Currently, the Draconian Empire is trying to forge an alliance with Frostdeep, the underground town. That's for more like military structure. They're also trying to create an alliance with Molokai, the Drow Nation. In order to create vessels for the Navy.
Does having a connection to the Underdark, does that make them less attractive?
No, actually not, because the entrance in Okravol has been sealed for thousands of years.
Okay, so it's not like if we could expose working with the Underdark people would be less likely to want to work with them.
Well, you have heard some news, for instance, like people who have actually sold weapons to Caracas has been imprisoned and under threat of treachery and so forth. So,
but I hear what you're saying. If we could maybe paint Caracas as even worse than they already are.
Yeah.
I think.
Because the problem is, because also from a real life situation, unless people feel like their nation are threatened, they don't necessarily want to spend resources on somebody's other's war.
No, I was trying to get it like if the Underdark was seen as like this big threat.
Yeah, again, exactly, and that's also what the Draconian Empire, not particularly for the Underdark, but yeah, they're trying to like say, but if we don't do something about these people, you will also get into trouble.
Okay. Well, so here's an idea then. If there's 2 known entrances, but there's an assumed third entrance somewhere in Caracas, and as you said earlier about switching capitals, I mean, presumably at least the top people are not there right now. They're in Sorvakai.
I mean, the majority of their force has to be the two of the ancient dragons. I don't know if we don't know if they have more, right?
You haven't heard of the fact that Badumrax's work came as a surprise.
Okay, great. So at least 2 of their, if we're just being, trying to cover bases, at least 2 of their ancient black dragon, 2 of the ancient dragons are there. They're some of the most powerful warriors and a huge portion of their force.
Yeah, we might have an easier way into Caracas. We also have contacts in Delta Bay, which is very close. That could work.
What we could do is we could go back to Evergale and teleport back to Delta Bay, and then go from Delta Bay to the Kraken
Definitely.
capital, and then see if we can make way to the Underdark and cut off the connection somehow.
And we know that Caracas has been hiring a ton of pirates generally, including ones who fly on airships. So we just pirates.
Sure.
I mean, and then we'd have to fly the ship down there, the Air Nomad. But that might be worth it.
Yeah.
Obviously, a slightly longer journey, but we can get the whole group down there then.
Yeah.
It'll also mean that both Jace and Eos could sort of get to us relatively easily. Somewhat, at least. I don't quite now know how Jace sort of teleported from how did that, but that's sort of his beeswax. But again, if he has a place he can go, if he can get to the Air Nomad some way, that would help him. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's my best suggestion.
We could maybe. I mean, one thing we could do there was to sort of get to the Underdark, see what's going on there. Maybe try to either close that entrance or. Well, that's worst case, or maybe if we can change some minds.
Yeah.
If we can,
or at least destroy the alliance they have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking that if Caracas is being supported by the Underdark and pure just resources, if we cut that off, they become much more desperate. Desperate people tend to make more mistakes.
We could also maybe try to investigate whatever connections are between the Witch Queen and Caracas.
So either way, we're going to Caracas. All right.
But should we contact Seeker first? Should we maybe make contact with him before we do anything?
You can see Blake
is
shaking the sandstone.
Let's find Seeker.
Right, you do.
But what do we want to know from Seeker?
Well, just what his thoughts. I mean, has he? I don't know when we last heard from him, but has he figured out anything about the spy? It seems to me that this war is gonna. I mean, even if. And I'm saying if I think it's more of a when they retake Sorvakai, the war's still going to be on.
But that's what I'm saying. But if we try to break up this, then there'll be a bigger loss after retaking Sorvakai, after losing Sorvakai. If we take the stone, contact Seeker. What do you want to ask him about?
Well, I just kind of what he, just first of all, you should probably tell him. I mean, he probably knows, but if in case he doesn't, tell him that. I mean, I know he's sort of ancient and kind of transcends his own.
No, actually, you don't know.
Give a shit.
Again, you don't know whether Seeker is ancient.
Maybe.
You know the lich he's possessing, Ezekiel, is ancient.
Oh, I've forgotten that was.
Yeah, that's
the
the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe borrow the stone from.
All right.
Seeker. Hey, Seeker.
Thanks for listening. The intro music was by Philip Fischer, whereas the outro music was by Martin Kerr. The other pieces which are mentioned in the description down below were by Kevin MacLeod. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we hope to see you again in Doraken.